It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Well, folks, I have no idea if I played or not. This is Chillie coming to you from Roatan, Honduras, with today's travel and cruise industry news. Folks, I apologize for 5 o'clock. I was ready to go. I had tested out the signal. I talked to John up in Minnesota, and wham, the Wi-Fi went. And I mean, it went. It wasn't me. Everybody in the world was raising all kinds of cane about it. I have no idea if any of you guys will see that I've gone live now and join me. Who knows? But again, my apologies for missing out on the show at its normal time. I did everything I could do to try to get the signal. Cindy was sitting there. Cindy was going to be on the show with me. Things like that happen. Finally, I got the hold of the IT guy, and they're saying it was satellite related. So I don't know if the satellite fixed itself or a cloud moved. I'm not sure which, but at least I've got it now. I have no idea how good a signal it is because I didn't have a chance to test it up. I got straight up from the dining room table, got on my scooter, and got up here to my room, because every place in the ship now in the evening is going to be loud music and so forth. So I said, well, I'll just go to the room and do it up there. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, folks, this is travel and cruise industry news for November the 7th, 2022. Our lead story today, of course, we got to talk about Nicole that could be a hurricane by midweek and affect Florida. But folks, we're going to talk about that a lot here shortly. But don't get bent out of shape about this storm. I know some of you are in panic mode. And hang on. So, all right. Other than that, Carnival's new ship departed for Florida yesterday. Bermuda finally drops that awful $40 fee. Celebrity Beyond officially named. Clickbaiters were at work again. And Gibraltar police asks for help. That and a whole lot more, which was supposed to be at 5 p.m. I guess it's at 7:56 p.m. Maybe we'll do a lot more this evening if we get anybody back in the chat room. If not, I hope you guys get to watch this on replay. I will try to get the podcast up, even though it's way late. And the same schedule will be the same way tomorrow, by the way. All right, folks, today is National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds Day. Who in the world writes these things? So, I don't know. National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds. Duh. If you should be listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. Again, my apologies for being totally off schedule now. It was supposed to be at 5 o'clock tonight because we were in port today. By the way, those of you that aren't familiar with Roatan or haven't been here, very nice port. I couldn't show you. I hope. Roatan Island off the coast of Honduras. And there are, you can see the actual Central America. I'm not sure which country. I don't know how many miles it is over there, but you can clearly the coastline. But Roatan itself is an island. And Mahogany Bay is very similar like to Amber Cove, that kind of a port. There's a shopping area. Now they do have all kinds of excursions and stuff here. But it's really a nice little port. Now, before we get to the port, though, I do have to tell you that Cindy has been misbehaving on this cruise. Now, I would never tell us anything, about my family, the Chillie family, to make them look bad. But she's been misbehaving. Last night at dinner, this is what she had. Aren't you showing? A chocolate martini from Christian. We know what I'm going to be drinking, don't we, folks? Okay. I don't know if you guys could hear the audio. I couldn't hear it. So I guess this Wi-Fi signal is still wonky. But that was a chocolate martini that Cindy had at dinner last night. And actually, Cindy was on her own last night because the hubster didn't feel so good, unfortunately. I don't know if any of you guys saw this picture or not that I'm using in my background today. But Cindy was the old fat guy's hot date for dinner last night. Send me to bed early. She did. Anyway, I'm having a lot of fun with these guys. Tomorrow we'll be in Cozumel. All of us are going out to meet Elizabeth for lunch. Looking forward to that. Couple things to show you here. This is the pool. Come on, pictures. Why are you taking so long? There we go. That's the one in the paradise from up above. And then while I know Hot Air Tom has always wanted to see me roll the scooter over on my head. Well, I was viciously attacked by a parrot while I was in Mahogany Bay today. There's the parrot attacking me. Let's see what else we got here. If I can, these things are being slow to load up is what's causing a little bit of a delay here. Now that's me. See where my finger's pointing? That is the zip line. I was going to attempt, when I got off the boat, I was going to attempt to do the zip line. I was actually, I talked myself into it. If they could have figured out a way of taking my scooter so I wouldn't be stuck at the other end without the scooter. The place in Saint Martin will do that, only I have to be able to get there. There's no accessible transportation to get me there. But they would hook the scooter up in the next chair. So you got it right with you. But anyway, I was planning on doing that. I did, however, go to, I rode around taking pictures of the place. I have several clips that I was going to show, but they took way too long to load up. But I did go to Fat Tuesdays and had my pina colada that I like to drink when I'm in port. And let's see if it, come on now. There it is. Fat Tuesdays pina colada. And this was a small one, folks. The small ones are $10 plus a tip. So I spent $15 for a pina colada. The medium sized ones are $22.50. The large ones are $37.50. I said, no, thank you. I'll just take the small. So I did have a pina colada. And it was quite good. And I did have a clip of the bar there. That's the bar. You see a little bit of the background. But anyway, when I get the signal back going well, I will share some things with you from Roatan today. So, all right, I'll be back with the news after a break from one of our network sponsors. Be back shortly. All right, guys, we got to talk about this weather thing first. Come on, load up. There it is. See the crazy map? This literally formed overnight last night. I started getting notices about it, I don't know, 3:30 this morning that this storm had formed. And within a couple hours, I had a dozen notices from various sources that I'm with. And even talking about the possibility of what's going to do in Tampa. Now, if you look, this is the latest map, which has been updated since I did it. This was actually updated at 4 p.m. this afternoon. So it was literally at 5 p.m. I was going to show you the absolute freshest data on it. But as of now, it looks like the center of the storm is going to hit Tampa about 1 p.m. Thursday. So I land Thursday morning. It's going to take me an hour or so to get to the hotel if the rain and wind isn't too bad out in advance thing, so I can start driving all the way through the cone of uncertainty to Virginia. So this is not going to be a pleasant drive home, I don't think. But anyway, now, what are we actually dealing with here, folks? Nicole, Subtropical Storm Nicole, it was the last time I checked, which formed early Monday, could be near hurricane strength or possibly a Category 1 hurricane by midweek as it nears southeast Florida and northwestern Bahamas. Forecasters say Nicole was a large storm that is expected to move over or near Bahamas Wednesday and approach Florida's coast Wednesday night. Latest estimates Monday said the maximum sustained winds this week could reach 70 miles, which is just 4 miles an hour, under the threshold for a Category 1 hurricane. It's not out of the question, the experts said, for Nicole to reach hurricane strength, especially given how warm the waters are in the vicinity of the Bahamas. Tropical Storm Watch is in effect Monday for northwestern Bahamas, Grand Bahamas, Bimini, and surrounding islands. The National Hurricane Center issued additional warnings for the central Bahamas and parts of southeast Florida. The latest from the National Hurricane Center, Nicole is forecast to strengthen Tuesday night or Wednesday. Hurricane warning issued for portions of northwestern Bahamas now, and of course for Florida. The last location I had on it was 435 miles east-northeast of northwestern Bahamas. Maximum sustained winds 45 miles an hour. The present movement is to the northwest at 9. Pressure has dropped to 1,000 millibars. And again, for disembarkation, could be very dicey on Thursday. Now, the latest in the forecast tracked, let me pull that up now because what I had loaded with all the screwing up here is disappeared. Let's see where it went. Okay. The general motion is expected to continue through tonight. The turn toward the west or west-southwest is forecast to begin on Tuesday, and that motion should continue through early Thursday. On the forecast track, the center of Nicole will approach the northwestern Bahamas on Tuesday, and Tuesday night move near or over those islands on Wednesday and approach the east coast of Florida Wednesday night. Some slight strengthening is forecast tonight, Tuesday, with a fast rate of strengthening expected by Tuesday night and Wednesday. That's when it could reach hurricane strength. or close to it. Nicole is forecast to be at or near hurricane intensity by Wednesday or Wednesday night, while it's moving near or over the northwest Bahamas. So, the latest pressure on it is down to 998 millibars, so it's dropped 2 more. This is going to strengthen some. How much it strengthens, folks, is a guessing game. However, it's a big storm, and it's going to be a pretty heavy wind event. Rain, not so much. Storm surge, some. But yeah, I mean, you guys in Florida have been hit hard recently, so I understand that. I understand some of you being jumpy. But I don't think this one's going to be that bad. You got to be. Yeah, it's probably not. It's going to be a miserable disembarkation. But somebody said that the captain, might not even disembark in Tampa. Now we're nowhere near anything that serious. And by the way, I did try to interview the captain today. Now, whether the corporate approval didn't come in, I mean, for those guys to do interviews to a media person, it has to be approved. So the last word I had, and that was before I set up to do the show at 5, was that maybe tomorrow, or at worst the next day when we're at sea. I said, okay, it doesn't have to be today. Questions I want to ask him are dealing with what he's got to do to get ready and what kind of information he has that I don't have. But anyway, folks, those of you that are really just bent out of shape about this, don't be. I'm going to have a miserable drive home in the rain and wind. But I don't think this is going to be nothing like you guys have been through. It doesn't have the strength at all. So chill a little. All right, let's get on with a couple of news stories here. The time has finally arrived for Carnival's newest cruise ship, the Celebration, to begin guest operations. The new vessel departed on her transatlantic voyage from Southampton after becoming the first new Carnival cruise ship to visit the UK in 20 years. Recently delivered from Meyer Turku shipyard in Finland, the new XL-class ship is currently heading for its new home of Port Miami. The ship set off on a 14-day transatlantic voyage yesterday and includes visits to La Coruna, Vigo, Funchal, and finally Tenerife, Canary Islands, before arriving in Miami on November the 20th. All right, this one is really good news for everybody, including Hot Air Tom.
I know. That's going to be later. But it has to be before 10.
Better late than never, Bermuda is finally removing the travel authorization form, which was needed to be allowed to travel to the island by plane or cruise ship. The form will no longer be required starting November the 14th, almost 3 weeks earlier than previously announced, and in time for several cruise ships to take advantage. Those traveling to Bermuda by air or by cruise ship will no longer be required to apply for and pay a $40 fee for the travel or authorization form that has been in place during the last 2 years. Norwegian Joy is scheduled to arrive on the 21st for a 3-day stay. Ocean Cruises Serena arrives to Hamilton, Bermuda on the 14th. MS Seascape's guests sailing from Rome to New York will arrive in Bermuda on December 2nd. They're all going to benefit from the changes. Unfortunately, Those arriving in Bermuda before November 14th will still need to apply for the travel authorization and pay the $40 fee. This includes cruises on board the Norwegian Pearl, sails on November 6th and 13th. But at least shortly, guys, no more fee from Bermuda. All right. Celebrity Beyond has officially joined Celebrity Cruises, the third in the iconic Edge series. They had the christening and the naming ceremonies. Actually, what happened, Captain Kate's been on vacation, and she took over the helm in New York to sail on down to Miami for the first time. And she's at the helm for the naming business. And then she's going to go back on vacation. She and the husband are on the ship. Okay? They've been guests. And she had to work for all this. Now she's going back on vacation. Now, Simone Biles, the 19 times world champion, 7-time Olympic champion, and the most decorated U.S. gymnast in history, had the honor of leading the ship's naming ceremony in Fort Lauderdale this weekend. All right, guys, there was a big stink raise this weekend. And the clickbaiters just went nuts. Some of you might have seen headlines: Carnival doubles their prices. That was the big bold headlines from several of my competitors. Oh my God, I thought it was going to cost $2,000 for a 3-night cruise with stories like that. The truth of the matter, Carnival raised prices of bottled water. It was $4.95 and it went to $9.95. That's if you order 12, a pack of 12 waters for your room. They raised it $5. Okay. If you don't want to pay the $5, there are stations all over the ship. Take your own container and fill up the water for free. If not, and you have to have bottled water and drink out of plastic, pay the $5 and don't complain about it. And by all means, don't be screaming, the Carnival's doubling their prices. I get so aggravated at people clickbaiting like that. All right. The last story is a little scary. The police in Gibraltar are actually asking for help. A Brazilian man went missing in Gibraltar this weekend after disembarking from the cruise ship Midweek. The missing person has been identified as Matias Rodrigues Muniz de Silva, the 27-year-old Brazilian national. The Royal Gibraltar Police issued an alert seeking the public's help in locating Matias, who was last seen on Saturday just after 11 a.m. disembarking the ship at the port of Gibraltar. Authorities released the image of Matias, saying that there was no description of the clothes he was wearing at the time. The police didn't mention if he was a crew member or sailing as a guest on board the ship. The Midweek had to leave the port without him on Saturday at 3 p.m. So they went on, and the police in Gibraltar are still asking for help. So, not a good story. All right, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to try this again from Cozumel. I'll do the show at 5 o'clock, like I was ready to do today. And hopefully we won't have this signal issue tomorrow, whatever happened. All right, let's see if anybody's over here in the chat room. I know a lot of the chat's still up from 5 o'clock. Kenneth was with us. Hot Air Tom was with us. Nikki was with us. And yes, Chillie was freaking out. Hot Air Tom, Kenneth, Nikki, Sonny was with us. No Chillie yet. Guess no signal. Yeah, Sonny, you hit it right on the head. I seem to remember the wait was 15 minutes for a full professor. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Kenneth and Tom are talking back and forth. Sonny, Kenneth, Hot Air Tom. Yeah, they've had a nice conversation there. Hot Air Tom says, is Chillie busy running around the ship looking for a signal? All those cruisers back from the port are using up bandwidth. That was the first thing I thought up too, Tom. Robert Lamb was with us. But actually, I ended up with the head IT guy. And he came up with this excuse about the satellite system. Truth of the matter, as soon as we sailed from Roatan, the signal came back. Something tells me there may have been some interference. Was it from the satellite? Did a cloud get in front of the satellite? I don't know. And it wasn't just me. I mean, there was 40 people when I went down to guest services. There was 40 people in line that all of a sudden had lost their Wi-Fi. Cindy was on the phone, or maybe she was texting. I don't know. She was talking with one of the girls, and they were having a perfectly good conversation, and wham, signal was gone. Eddie was with us. Yeah, everybody was here, had a nice conversation while I'm running around about having a stroke. I haven't gotten down here to see if anybody's with us now because I don't know where it ends. I'm down to 5:30. So that was y'all sticking around a half hour and you're still in the studio. Thank you for that, guys. I'm so sorry. Hot Air Tom's talking about his cruises. I'm glad he's keeping something lively. Oh my goodness, this went on. You guys were all there for 40 minutes so far, 43 minutes. Wow, guys, I'm so sorry. I really am. Hot Air finally said bye, everyone, at 5:55. Guess Chillie fell overboard off his scooter. Thanks a lot, Hot Air Tom. Wow, I can't believe you guys stayed that late waiting. Everybody, 6:01. Oh, Robert's back. 7:53. You were there. Kenneth's with us. You guys did get noticed finally that I was going live. Wow. I feel so bad about today. That's what everybody said while you were waiting. Yeah, very good. Katie's with us. Evening, Katie. There's Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. I'm Mara. Boy, it's been a disaster. Absolute disaster today. So I hate doing the show this late, but I wanted to get a show up, and then I couldn't get all the thing. I had some clips and stuff from today I was going to play, and I wouldn't do it. The video is a tiny bit choppy, but the audio seems almost perfect. Thanks, Rob. That's good to know. And it was everything was loading slow. So there's still some issues here, which I haven't had. It's been a really good signal so far, even in the water, coming around Cuba and stuff where you normally have all kinds of problems. Elizabeth says, welcome to my world. Haha. That's why I'm rarely on when I'm working on the ship. But I will see Chillie and Cindy mañana. But it's 11 o'clock. I mean, they announced it's the night of dinner again. We're due to get to Cozumel at 11. So, yeah, I'm figuring the first rush gets off the ship. We'll be there about 12:15-ish to 12:30-ish, somewhere in that vicinity, Elizabeth. And there will be 6 of us. John and Jean are going with us, also with Cindy and the Hubster. I have so much fun with Nick. Nick's a good guy. He is. And Cindy and Nick make a and Jean. Where I am. Came back. Hot Air Tom's back with us too. Chillie has been found. Yes, I have. Nikki's here. Hi, Nikki. It's not bittersweet chocolate day for my diabetic butt. I know. Who the hell writes those things? I mean, that was ridiculous. Every now and then I get one that's just totally bizarre like that. Was it bittersweet chocolate with almonds martini? No. If it had been martini, I'd have said, okay, I'd dig that. It's just bittersweet chocolate with almond day. Well. Katie says, looks great. Man, that small. It's a Starbucks video. Yeah. Oh, well. You might get an extra day at sea now. Now, Katie, it would have to be a lot worse for them not to go into Tampa on schedule. I'm sure that's what they're going to tell me if I ever do get to sit down with the captain or anybody on the staff. But even at the worst, the outer bands of this thing, well, it's hitting South Florida, some wind over there, but they're not gonna stay parked for a minor storm, and that's what I think this is going to be. It's just this late in the season. There's no way it can strengthen that much. It's not going to happen, guys. So relax. Yeah, it's going to be a storm. You guys are used to that. Minded allowance. Chillie's Cruises. How does Nicole is going to hit Miami, the home of NBC owned and operated stations, WTVJ Channel 6, Fox affiliate, WSVN TV, and PBS member WBPT channel? What? Okay. I'm not sure I understand your question. And yeah, those stations are all probably covering this. Sometimes I don't like the way they cover they scare the bejesus out of people. I try to give you what I see and the numbers that I get directly from National Hurricane Center and the way I read them and the way I see them. And yeah, I'm expecting to have a miserable drive from Tampa to Virginia. It's going to be rainy. It could be raining on me all the way. But I really don't see this as being a really terrifically damaging storm for you guys. I mean, they're not projecting. They're talking about maybe on the outside 6 inches of rain where the eye of it is hurricane strength comes ashore. And it's very possible that it never reaches it. That's also a possibility. So, I mean, yeah, and maybe tomorrow the story will change in either direction. as we get more, just keep in mind, it's not even, 18 hours since this thing formed. It was 3:30 this morning. I started getting texts, 3 o'clock, 3:30, somewhere along in there. I started getting messages that this storm had formed. So, yeah. Amy's with us. Hi, guys. It ended up going pretty well in the end. Yes, it did. Okay, so how does Nicole is going to hit Miami? How is going to hit Miami? I don't think, Miami's going to get some rain and stuff from it. The direction that at least the way I see it is it's going to hit from a little bit north of Fort Lauderdale, a little north of Miami, on up the coast there a little bit. So I don't see it. It's not going to be a direct hit on Miami, unless it changes direction drastically. Elizabeth says, tomorrow I cannot promise what shape Chillie will be in after a few adult beverages and Cozumel. Moi? Adult beverages with Elizabeth? There, it went out and came back. So I'm still here. Is this Minded Alliance just repeating the same thing over and over? And I don't have a complete sentence, so I'm not sure what he's trying to say. Don't worry, Chillie. You built a community here as your back no matter what. Yeah, well, I mean, you guys have seen me stoned out of my mind on John's pot candy or whatever you call it stuff. You might see me a little tipsy. That would be fun, actually. I could deal with that. Now, I promise you, I am going to have an adult beverage or two with Lisbon. We don't ever get together that we don't have something to drink. Yeah, and I also promise you that Cindy's not going to let that happen either, because she's going to be right in there pitching. And Nick can't drink, so he's the teetotaler, so he can be the driver. He can be the designated driver tomorrow to drive my scooter back, and I'll sit on his lap or something. So, all right, guys. Wow. I'm going to go get one of those adult beverages tonight too. Kenneth says, if the weather's too bad, stay at a hotel. Oh yeah. Oh no, I know that. I'm just, the way I'm seeing it right now, Kenneth, Tampa, it could be raining and maybe a little wind, but it's not going to be, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, I've got to get an Uber driver too to take me to the hotel to get the car. So we'll see. They're making some kind of announcements. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for tonight. I'm not used to saying that. So I will be back at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon after I come back from Cozumel. I promise to try to behave. No, I don't. We'll have a story tomorrow or two. We will definitely have a show. And hopefully it'll be on time. I will get the show up in the morning to get the links out like I did today. Everybody knew. I mean, we had a nice big crowd at 5 o'clock. That was the other thing I didn't know how much of you people would be available then. All right. That's going to wrap me up for today, guys. It's been a long one for me. So I'll see everybody back here tomorrow. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. You guys have a fantastic day. See you tomorrow. at 5 o'clock. Later, guys.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.